Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show, presented by Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale. Morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Hey, is it raining out there?
Here later today, we might get some.
Later today.
Just a little later today.
Well, it is pretty crazy out there. That stuff was coming down pretty hard this morning, but kind of like it. I used to not like rain. I don't like rain on Fridays or Saturdays.
Racing
during
season,
summertime.
Right? Yeah.
Now, this time of year, rain it up.
Get it wet.
Get it wet, get it raining, everything else. It's just perfectly fine. Hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. And we want to hear from you because each and every caller gets a great price package, about over $130 just for calling the show. And again, anything ailing your car, anything in the automobile world, anything about new products, whatever you want to talk about. Love to hear from you. Get some comments going, get some excitement going. And as always, Josh, what's in that package for each and every caller?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're completing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on that vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components for your vehicle for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also get yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your 44K for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
Morning, Jason Cox. How you doing this morning? Anyway, 316-462-3673. That number comes right into the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get patched in the podcast. We'll get you on here for your questions and everything else. And Nick Newcomb's hanging out online. Jim Petty's hanging out online. Good morning, Jim. And love the rain. So anyway, Josh, I see the screen's not on over here, so we have nothing exciting this week, or maybe you do.
Well, so it was been a very, very busy week. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. One of them was, what's the difference between an individual coming to a dealership versus like an aftermarket repair facility for one, but then also how about on the sales side of things, somebody going to a dealership to purchase a vehicle versus a used car lot. And I thought we could kind of go back and forth and maybe get talk about some of that stuff.
I can get that going really quick on both sides of the coin, and from that part. Yes, Delbert, we are getting wet. We got a caller coming in here too, so we'll get them patched in from that part. So let's first start with the service side. I've been in this business a long time, and back in my day when we first started, the manufacturers had a warranty rate that the labor rate had to be that they would pay us to do warranty repairs. But in return, then we had to charge the customer that same rate. And it didn't matter whether we were doing oil changes or we were doing whatever. We had to charge that same rate. And it made it to where the dealerships seemed to be more expensive. And there's a caller here, so we can get the caller. Let's take the caller, and I'll get you more enthused on my opinion of all this stuff too.
Okay, so let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Jason. Jason, good morning. You're on live with Under the Hood.
Morning, guys. Happy Saturday.
It is a great Saturday, isn't it?
It is. We need this rain bad.
Yeah. Cheney Lake needs the water.
So,
I hope they're getting a bunch.
Yeah. That's going to take about 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
Now, the reason for my call. So my mom has a 2017 Ford Escape. She doesn't drive it much, but she's in need of some tires. And I didn't know what to go with, what brand, because for one, she doesn't drive much. So I don't need high end, but I also don't want low end. What
Jason,
would be my best bet?
Jason, you got a great question there and a great response there for that situation. And what I love about our situation, just because we're a Ford store, we sell tires on every make and model out there from that part. And we can offer you up to 17 different models of tires. That is so great for you, just like your situation, your mom. She doesn't need a great tire, but again, doesn't want a cheap tire. And I'm going to tell you, those cheap tires we're not selling cheap tires because that's such a huge safety factor, how these tires hold up and do everything else from that part. But we can sit down and get that tire size, but it's not just the tire size, it's the speed rating and load rating of that car. And you're going to think, well, my mom doesn't need a speed rating. She doesn't need that load rating or whatever it might be. Well, yeah, she does, because that car was designed for that tire. Josh, how many times do we get cars in here that they got the right size on it, but the load and speed ratings are just way off? Happens all the time, right?
Mhm.
So, until we see the size, which I'm guessing what that size might be, but see that size, and then we can go through those and see what's available, number one, and see what the price of the budget would be there for those tires and fit that tire for her. That's what I love about having all those options. If you walk in a tire store, Josh, what is it? 3 to 4 options maybe you're going to get.
Typically, yeah.
And if they don't have the right speed rating and load rating for your tire, guess what they're going to do? They're going to say something that matches the size and roll you down the road, which is not good at all. And the biggest thing about your mom, I get it. She
Right.
probably doesn't drive fast. She probably doesn't brake hard, or she doesn't go very far. I get it. But still, that car
No, she doesn't.
that car needs that specific tire for how the suspension is and how it handles and all that kind of stuff. And granted, 17 Estate probably isn't a high speed rating or high load rating, but we still need to match that correctly for that car so it does drive correctly. In case she does need to stop quickly, she can stop.
Well, and then in his particular situation, right? So now you have 17 tires and you've narrowed it down to, how many ever that have that same load and speed rating specifically for that vehicle. Now you're looking at, okay, the tread design of tires, how you want it to run, the UTQG rating of the tire. So the
Yep.
wear rating, how, per dollar per what you're paying, like how's that tire going to wear?
Mhm.
But then also in your case, you don't want to go through and buy a 80 or 90,000 mile tire that is going to dry rot before you even come close to wearing it out if she's not driving it that many miles. So,
Yeah. So to answer your question, we really can't until we really sat down with that computer. It's like today, one of my salesmen says, "How'd you do it back in the day without computers and stuff?" And I tell you, it was a rough deal compared to what we're doing today. We figured that out this summer, didn't we, John?
well, yeah.
When our computer system went down for 21 days. But to pull that up on our tire fitment tool, put that size in there, put the load rating and put the speed rating and get what options are out there, and then we can kind of play it together there and say, you know what, I might want to spend another $20 per tire to get a little bit better tire to keep my mom that much safer. Then again, you
Yeah.
might say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and go with this tire that's $20 cheaper per tire, just because she's gonna drive 1,000 miles a year. Who knows what that might be? But there's all kinds of
Right.
situations we can put in there too,
Yeah.
from that part too. So
Well, I can tell you that car has below 100,000 miles on it. It's got like maybe 60,000 miles on it.
yep. She doesn't
Yeah,
go
for a 17, that's pretty
she don't go very far, right? And I get it. So we just need
No,
to,
she doesn't.
the other thing we can do after the show, what we need to do is we could get every car on the driver's door. You open it up, and it might be on the door, might be on the sill panel or something inside there. But there's a chart there that says the tire size, the load rating size, speed rating
Oh, I
size.
got the size.
Yeah,
okay.
but we
I
need
have
that.
the size.
We need that speed rating and load rating too.
Okay.
Or if we had her VIN
I
number,
was
we
going
could
to
look
say,
it up.
yeah, if we had the VIN number, has the vehicle been here before, Jason?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Yes.
I'll reach out to you after the show, and we'll get the size of it, and I'll get you some options on what I think could work best for that vehicle and how much she's driving it and stuff like that. So
That would be awesome. I would appreciate that.
Jason, thanks for the call, buddy, as always.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the help.
Anytime, buddy. Yeah, Delbert did. I didn't think about that too till just now, but we did just finish up last Saturday, a week ago, the buy 3 get 1 free situation. And I have you figured out how many tires we sold yet, Josh?
about 152
Sets?
Yeah,
In 6 days, 5 days.
5 days. Yeah,
It's not too shabby. Mike Sheridan said he was wore out on tires. I thought a big boy like him could handle it, but maybe he can, I guess. Huh?
the quick lane was moving on tires. That's for sure.
Hey, good morning, Brett. How are you doing, buddy? So anyway, back to where I finished off with independent repair shops versus dealership repair shop getting Kings fixed and stuff like that too. But like I said, back in my day when I first started, the warranty rate was what would determine what you had to charge a customer. And then probably, I don't know, got to date myself, but in the 90s, the manufacturers finally realized that we couldn't be competitive charging to change your oil the same rate we're charging to fix your car. So they came
do
in
a transmission repair or something, a heavier job.
So they finally let us have what we call a variable labor rate, where we could change our labor rates to be competitive and that sort of thing. And it's made us very competitive. And I think if you go out there and you look at what you're getting today, what you're buying today, I will tell you that in 85, I left the dealership for a short period of time and went to work for an independent shop. And I realized real quickly that as a technician, I wasn't going to get the training. I didn't have the tools and everything I needed to do to perform my job correctly. So I spent a year in the aftermarket. Then I took off and went back into the dealership world and been there ever since because of training.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I train me as a technician and give me the tools and things I needed to do my job correctly? I still remember my dad on the phone all the time to the dealerships trying to talk to him how to fix cars and stuff like that back in his day too. Was not from that part, but so it's changed drastically from that part. Uh, and I agree. There's room for everybody to do what you want to do. Where you want to put that in an aftermarket part on an original manufacturer part from that part. And when I worked with Don Davison at Halstead Auto Supply, I mean, selling the aftermarket parts back in the early '80s, a lot of those parts from the aftermarket were better than what was on the manufacturer. For example, the alternators, the shocks, the starters. But we're not replacing those kind of things anymore like we used to from that part. Now today, I really truly believe the original equipment manufacturer part is 10 times better than an aftermarket part. We run into
Well,
that all the time.
yeah, there's and that's something that we get involved with in certain situations of parts, the factory part not being available any longer. You know, if a vehicle, or just on during COVID, that was a big thing too. Is that, you know, the supply and demand of being able to achieve
You
that
get a part
part.
to keep a car running
Yeah,
and
yeah,
get it moving down the road.
to keep a customer moving and going down the road. But then, you know, when that part fails, or if that part fails, what does that look like? Who's going to stand behind that? What's the warranty behind it? Stuff like that versus original equipment part, and where that warranty can take a traveling customer.
Yeah. So I got another situation kind of talking about parts, and we got another caller coming in here. So I might
Yeah.
get interrupted here when that caller comes in here too. Is I had a customer come in, and a friend that I've known many, many years came in and talked to me, and he was having one of my good buddies work on his older car, and he went to a parts house to get the parts, and they gave him the parts, and guess what? The parts didn't fit right, didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
He came into the dealership and he says, "You're not going to believe this," but he says, "You guys had the part, it fit correctly. You were $130 cheaper than the aftermarket on your parts." So there's your next question about parts. There's your next question about service. And we'll get this caller.
And it's the consumer's misconception, right? That the dealership's going to be higher.
Yeah, because it was that way years ago.
And so they just automatically go to, you know, an aftermarket supply house or something like that. So,
yeah. So let's go to the phone, and then we'll go to sales on that side. Okay.
Okay. Hey, let's go to the phones here. Let's talk to Brett. Brett, good morning. You're on live with Under the Hood.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
Great.
Good, buddy.
Hey, I know all about those aftermarket parts.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got a 2023 Ford Bronco Wildtrak.
Yep.
And know all about it.
So you're
TJ Pony parts and all over the place.
Yeah, so you're dealing with a lot of accessory options, right?
Of course I am. Phil, I have that white Wildtrak.
Oh, I know which one you got, buddy. I know which one.
Yeah.
I think if we go across the country, that Brett's got to be one of the top 5 with most accessories on
Really?
on one. I think so. Brett, you agree with me?
Yeah. I just put a.
He's mad you only give him from top 5. He wants top 3. Come on now.
I just did a zone 3-inch lift. Put 37s on it. I'm trying to get the Raptor fenders for it.
Well,
So I can turn my Wildtrak to a Raptor.
I know where we can get some.
I know where I can get some too, but I don't want to pay your price.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Trust me. We had one of those Bronco Raptors get a scar in one of those fender flares, and we had to replace one. So I feel your pain on that. That is, they are not they're not cheap.
Well, and I think they probably half of that do that just so that they can keep the nostalgia on the Raptors, right? So you don't have somebody such as Brett, you know, out there trying to replicate a Raptor. I would assume it has to be something.
Now, I did go out and buy the front grill from Ford.
Yeah.
The Raptor grill, which was simple to put on, but yeah, I've done a whole lot of mods. I've got cold air intake getting ready to go on. I've got the Ford tube doors that are getting ready to go on. I've got a bunch of mods that I've just bought, and I'm like, all right, I need to set time back to where I can just do this in a whole weekend.
Yeah, you do.
And just get it knocked out.
But yeah, I've just been busy working and all that. But yeah, I just hit 50,000 miles on it.
Heck, it's time to trade.
So been
kinda
going
went
up to
past that
Tuttle
one, didn't
Creek a lot.
What's that?
Been going up to Tuttle Creek a lot.
Oh,
doing
have you?
muddy,
Yeah.
Up there, in
Since we
Manhattan.
now have rain.
Yeah.
Well, now we got a lot of rain, buddy. So now it's time to get muddy.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
in your experience of putting on, I mean, sounds like a lot of different accessories, manufacturer versus aftermarket, like installation of that. What are some of the differences?
So, so I like to go to like companies that give me like a video or something like that. Rough Country's not one of them. I think Rough Country is one of the worst ones out there that doesn't do customer service or anything like that with their parts. Bellstein that did a really good job with us. And yeah, I Zone 3 did a great job. We went to a shop here in town that did a really good job on it. So,
And that was the lift that was installed?
yeah, that did it over there at the one over there off of K15.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I did the top angle, and they did the lift from there. So
Do you have
And
out of all the accessories, do you have any like Ford Performance or Ford accessories on there?
I do. I have hood lifts.
The hood clips, you said?
The hood lift.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Since Ford's still stuck back in the day where they put a rod
Uh-huh.
to lift the hood.
Yep.
Which
Right.
I think it needs to be on every car with the shocks.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I get it. Well, I haven't seen that Bronco in a while. You have to come by and show it to me, buddy.
When are you doing the toy thing?
That's going to be the first Saturday in December.
I think it's the 5th.
Okay.
So the toy
Are
drive.
you going to stay up there?
Yeah, I'm going to be up there.
All right. Well, I'm going to
December
bring
the
my
7th.
Bronco full of gifts, so you have to stay up there and freeze.
Nah, it's going to be a beautiful day, man. Good, clean living makes it sunny and 70 on December the 7th. So it'll be just fine.
All right, cool.
I better knock on some wood.
I was
real
going to
quick. I'm in
say,
trouble here in a
man.
minute.
Woo.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
on that one.
I'll get the Bronco Club together and we'll roll out there.
Very good. Very good. We're going to need you
So-
to take some of those accessories out of it so you have room for more toys, though.
Oh no, I've got room. I've got DS18 sound system in it. Yeah, I've gone all the way.
Well, come in with some Christmas you playing as you pull in, okay?
Oh, Christmas
I will.
music.
You'll hear me from the road.
All right, that's what I want to hear.
You're going to have jingle bells going.
I will. All right, Phil. You guys take care.
Brad, have a great
Have
day.
a wonderful day.
Go have some fun in that Bronco today, buddy.
All right, bud. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, man.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, 316-462-3673. Anything you want to talk about? Ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. You want to talk about when you've been accessorized or whatever it might be from that part. Love to hear from you. Get some conversations going and stuff too. And Josh, we talked about dealership versus aftermarket. I think I've kind of covered the service side a little bit.
Where I was headed with that is like our DMS system, okay, and the depth of that. So the manufacturer query, looking for a vehicle that has recalls and then being able to do those recalls. The other thing that I was thinking of is like technical service bulletins that we have out there. I mean, we fought a vehicle the other day, or brought a vehicle in the other day that just intermittently wouldn't start. And turned out there was a technical service bulletin out there from the manufacturers of other dealers that have kind of experienced that same thing, and they were able to give a tips in regards to a ground location on this specific vehicle. But I'm thinking, the odds of this thing starting was so intermittent. Happened a couple of times within 3 or 4 months, and to be able to replicate that and fix that thing, and to know that you have it taken care of, I'm thinking of a consumer going to an independent, to try and get something like that taken care of or addressed. Like the odds of somebody being able to diagnose that, I think would be extremely hard without all the right tools, to be able to do that job. So there's just so many examples like that where I can't fathom what somebody would spend, money wise in an aftermarket situation or an independent situation. Um, and I know you've seen it before too, that a customer has an issue with something and they've took it to an independent or an aftermarket shop, and the aftermarket shop or goes to O'Reilly's or AutoZone and, scans a check engine light or code, and they say, okay, well, this is the probability of this fix of this thing. And so they sell them that part, right? Or perform that repair. And so a customer walks in with an invoice and they've paid, $700, $800, $900, $1,000 on something, and they still have the exact same problem that they had, and they got told, "We'll take it to the dealership and figure out what's going on with
Happens
it."
a lot,
right?
doesn't it?
Like all the time.
I'm gonna go clear back something just popped in my head. Remember, I said I took a year and I went to the independent world, and that was in 84, 85, and that's when the computers just started hitting cars. Okay. And we had the lovely check engine lights on. And remember, we talked about we take a paper clip down in the connector and put them together, and we'd read how many times the light would flash to get a code. And so I remember that flashing that code, and I remember I was fighting a 21 throttle position sensor on a carbureted car. So you know what? First thing I did, I put a throttle position sensor in it.
Yep.
Shipped it because it went out for a little while. Guess what? It came back. It was back on again. Same code, 21. Kept messing around with connectors and all kinds of stuff. But back then I was in the independent world, and I didn't have the trouble trees and everything to follow. And we kept trying things, couldn't get it fixed. And finally, guess what we said? Well, take it to the dealer. Guess come back. Back then we had what we called PROMs, PROM, which was programmable read-only memory. That's how we changed computers between cars and did updates back then, Josh.
I was going to say that was the update. Is what that was.
It was. And the PROM was completely removed out of the computer.
Oh, it wasn't
even in there.
Just completely missing. Yeah.
But without a trouble tree and knowing what I had, I would have never fixed that car. I'd have kept jacking with it. So it's been going on for a long time. With those code readers and that sort of thing.
And I do agree with that. I don't know. I think it's gotten way worse, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's worse because it's gotten worse because now back then that was a 2-digit codes. Now we're at 4-digit codes.
Oh yeah. And then you have subcodes of each one of those.
Yeah. And these code readers can't read those 4-digit codes. They can get you close, but they're not going to get you exact. And, I appreciate everyone trying to fix their cars today and everything else from that part. But it's just like me. That's my favorite thing to do in every job of this dealership is to go back and wrench on a car. That's my favorite thing. I still love it to death. I still love working on the race car back there every day and night and everything else too. But if I didn't have the tools, if I didn't have the equipment, all that kind of thing, you're in trouble. You're in trouble to fix these cars today. And it's just how complex they've gotten over the years that it's back to the, you're going to spend your money, better money with a reputable dealership. And granted, there's not all dealerships created equal either, to fix these cars and diagnose these cars and have the right deal. I mean, it's just like you and I think once a week we're talking about another tool we got to buy or something we got to update for the technicians or a computer they need better to be able to do their job, or the wireless internet or a hardwire or anything to help keeping these technicians' jobs better.
Well, on the minute that you don't start investing in that, right? Like, it's going to be a very short amount of time, and you're going to be behind the 8 ball, behind the curve,
way behind the curve. Yeah. So
look at you're going to have our own little nightclub up there on top of that roof on the toy drive.
Yeah, I know. Robert Kenny's going to. He hung out with me a little bit last year.
Well, and then these guys are all saying this now, but when it's -40 and the wind is
they'll come out and wave at me and go back inside and get something warm to drink.
Hey, my hot chocolate's getting cold. I got to get back inside.
I can't tell you how many cold hamburgers or hot dogs or things I've eaten up there too.
Man, I've been every year, like sunny and 70.
Well, I've had a couple years pretty chilly up there. I think
By
I'm
chilly,
I think
you're not talking chilly December. You're talking chilly October. Okay.
I think that I don't know. I'm kind of a little nervous, Josh.
You're glutton for punishment bragging about it this soon. I'm just telling you that right now. But
Yeah, so everybody get ready for this toy
it
drive,
is.
December the
Just-
7th.
Yeah, just good, clean living. You'll
Good,
be
clean
fine.
living.
Yep,
That's what
you'll
it
be
is.
fine.
So yeah, just so. But anyway, the toy drive is coming, so everybody get ready for that. It's I don't know how many years I've done it now. Probably 16. I think is probably that's probably the right
It's
number.
been a long, a lot of years. That's for sure.
So, but again, it's a good cause. The toys for the Salvation Army and stuff. So everybody get ready for that. I can't believe it's already. You and I were
Yeah,
talking.
November already. It
Seems like it was just
crazy.
2024
Yeah.
started, right?
Yep, that is you're exactly right about that. And then the time change this weekend.
Shut up,
okay.
Josh.
All right. Well,
God, I thought we was over with that junk.
well, this time they'll be over with. You.
I swear to God, I do thought there was something
Yeah.
come out that we weren't going to do this again.
Every year they say that, right? So yeah.
I don't know why we have it. You know what I mean? I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert Kenny's bringing up Black Friday too.
Yeah.
We're going to have a whole different Black Friday sale this year compared to what we do. And yes, I'll bring it up right now. The 10 cars we did, it's over. We're not going to do that anymore. We think we've run its course on the 10 cars. We're going to have some more fun and exciting things. We had hours of discussions yesterday about what we're going to do for Black Friday and how it's going to be much more fun and everything else too. But the 10 cars, yes, I'm sorry, but the 10 cars for $99 to $999 is over. We're not going to do that again. I really truly believe it's run its course.
Yeah.
I really do. I think we've done enough of that.
that.
We did that for probably 12, 13 years, I think. Something like that. We've done those cars. There's cars of like
I cannot. I've still to this day have seen cars from I don't know year 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? That drive around or come into the service department and stuff like that. So that was definitely whoever won those was a huge asset for those folks.
So stay tuned for more announcements and more videos coming out about our Black Friday sale that's coming up. But I do promise you the 10 cars for $99 to $999 is over. We're not going to do that again. We got some more exciting things that we've discussed yesterday. So might not want to miss the Black Friday sale, the one and only Black Friday sale here at the Big Corner at Mel Hambelton Ford. So.
Yep.
Okay, so service side, I think we've kind of figured that out. And like I said, it was a classic that a friend of mine came in my office and said, "Oh, the aftermarket parts didn't quite fit right." Came in here, we had the parts, and we were $130 cheaper than the aftermarket on those parts. So it's not just the service side; it's also the parts side that we're very competitive with and stuff too. And back to those tires that Jason was talking about earlier, I promise you, we have a price match guarantee. And Josh, hardly ever are you price match guaranteeing somebody.
In a month's time, you may find, I don't know, definitely no more than a handful of deals in a month. And for as many tires as we put on, I think that's pretty huge for sure. So
anyway, let's flip over to the sales side for a minute about buying at a dealership and buying for the aftermarket and stuff too. And here's what I will tell you. My personal opinion, again, there's good dealerships, there's bad dealerships out there too, what they sell you and what they're going to have on their lot for sale and stuff like that. I promise you, these two sitting here on this screen go through every used car together before it goes on that lot. Yeah. We have a process before we purchase a car or trade for a car, what it goes through. And I will tell you that 1 out of 5 cars before we trade for it, we know that we're going to get rid of it. We're not going to keep it from that point.
It's not even a candidate to go on the lot.
It's gone.
Yeah.
We mark it to the wholesale and take it to the auction and move it. The rest of these cars, we have some that we know immediately they're going right to the dealership. And then we also have some we know that we're going to inspect and see what it takes to put them back to good life. And that's one thing that Lisa and I talked about when we got together back in 2008, that we would fix these cars correctly from that part to where they're good quality cars, they're safe and secure, and not have bald tires and thin brakes and all that kind of stuff out there on these cars. They're great cars from that part. So an example of that is the other day we had a customer just had to have this Dodge Charger, just certain color, certain things, and that's what he wanted. So, we said, let's go find one. Mm-hmm. So we started searching with the tool that I have. We can search all the dealerships that have them for sale or lots or whatever. And we found a Dodge Charger at a dealership. Okay. And brought it in and got that car here. And I took it outside, took my sales staff outside and said, I want you to come out here and I want you to see this for a minute.
They're representing this as Frontline Ready.
Frontline Ready. It's on their lot. They're selling it. 2 of the 4 tires were below the wear bars. 1 tire had a big old gouge in the sidewall of the tire. The 2 of the 4 rims were scuffed. And that's just the beginning of what that car was like that I did there. So I promise you, walk out here on our lot. These 2 guys right here on the screen have looked at these cars together and have and have went through those cars, and we have one person that inspects the car, but we had several technicians that repair them. So that way we know we're getting the same inspection done on every car, no shortcuts, no nothing, to know that car has got everything it needs to have. And so when you buy a car from us, it's a quality used car. It's got a clean title. I will not sell a car with a branded title or whatever. That's one of the 5 that just they're gone,
Automatically gone.
out of here and stuff from that part. We have auto check right on our website, so you can click on every one of our used car and see exactly what that is, the history of the car, the scoring of the car, if it's been in an accident or anything else from that part. And with Ford now, they have a Ford certified program for the Fords, but now we have one for the aftermarket called Blue Certified for any other make. I shouldn't say aftermarket, any other
makes.
maker model car, and we certify every stinking car we can. Now, there's some criteria they don't, because after 120,000 miles, you can't do it. We sell some cars 120 to 150. Yeah, if they meet the inspection and go through the process and they're still good quality cars, we do it. Those cars we can't certify. Anything under 120,000 miles, we're going to certify it.
Yep.
So there's a backing behind that. Peace of mind for you. You know the quality car. It's passed. And before we can even certify the car, it's got to go through Ford's system, and they got to say, yeah, it's a good enough car, because it checks the auto check and Carfax and proves that it's an okay car to put on their certification. So you can look on our website and you can see everyone that's Blue certified. That's a non-Ford, or the Ford program goes up for 8 years and a 80,000.
8,000.
So if Ford if there's a Ford Blue, that's a car that's got 80 to 120,000 miles on it. We can still put a Blue certification on that car to let you know, peace of mind, that car has been through a quality check. It's been through the inspection. The title's clean. The auto checks good. And we've done our process of showing you exactly what's going to happen with that car. And then there's a lot of other possibilities to go into that place. Sometimes Ford puts some money out there for, I shouldn't say money, a better interest rate,
better rebates,
and
or
stuff.
sorry, better
interest rates for you. You get some Ford Pass reward points and stuff like that too for every one of those cars. Just there's a lot of benefits to buying a car from when it's been certified. Now, there's a lot of used car managers out there don't like certifications. They think it's just extra money spent, no need to do it. Da 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 da. I love doing it because I want to give the value in a car that we've sold, and I want to lay my head on my pillow at night to know that I've sold you a great used car, and it passes that inspection, and it's good for you, and it's going to get you a lot of life out of it. I mean, we put so many tires on used cars, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Brakes are at half. They're coming off. We're putting new brakes on it from that part. Just kind of things we do. Of course, it's serviced and ready to go. Wiper blades are replaced. Cabin air filters replaced.
Air filters.
Filters, everything else, so you have a good quality used car.
Well, so the point of that, though, is too, like, as a consumer, okay, now I've just bought this car that's new to me, but it's used, right?
Yep.
So, but it's new to me, so you have that feeling of, well, I should be able to drive it for a while without having to do anything with it. And I couldn't imagine.
Us,
yeah,
that's true.
That's true. And I couldn't imagine another consumer and what the feeling would be like jumping into that Dodge Charger, or and driving it a matter of weeks and like even a set of tires. I mean, that's crazy. You just invested X number of dollars into
that Charger vehicle. Went back through the shop, Josh, and we fixed everything before I sold it to that customer. And the hard part about that is we bought the car thinking it was frontline ready.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of money we could make on that car was zero, because what a dealership sold it to us for. So we had to go spend that money on that car.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't sell that car to anybody like that. I can't do it. I can't lay my head on my pillow at night knowing that car is not safe from that part. So we fixed that car to our conditions and still sold it to the customer that way from that part.
And I think that's happened on multiple occasions. I can remember a pickup that,
this just happened
was
last week.
That was once it got back here, it looked like it had been running on oil well, road for how many ever thousands of miles. And it's like, man, somebody was presenting this as ready to go or ready to be delivered to a customer, which is crazy.
So let's flip to the new side for a minute. Right now, I promise you, there's not a Ford store in this state area that's got the inventory we got.
Yeah.
We have fought for this inventory because we've been out of inventory. We've got Super Duties that we haven't had in 4 years. I got so many F-150. We got over almost 800 new cars sitting out here for you. So I'm sure we've got something that's going to fit your wants, needs, budget, and color, because we've got all the colors, everything else for that part. So I challenge another Ford store. I challenge you to go look at another Ford store and find out who's got more inventory than we have here. So if you're looking for selection, looking for what you got, we're here to help you with that. And I've went out and fought Ford to get the inventory to have. And I'll promise you another thing on our website. Well, on our website, what you can qualify for rebates and discounts is 100% correct. You can qualify. There might be more that you can qualify for, But I don't know that till I sat down and put your name and zip code into the system and track it back and see what Ford also has to offer you.
But you're also not going to advertise something that
I'm
somebody
not going to
can't
put it
get.
out there that, oh, you got all these rebates. And then when you come in, well, sorry, we put out there's $10,000 worth of rebates. And guess what? You only qualify for 2,000. That's not how our webpage is. That's not being integrity. That's not character. And that's not putting everything out there for you as a consumer. When you look at our webpage, what I've got out there for pricing, I've got some cars that are discounted. And that is a true bona fide discount from us. That's not a rebate. That's not to have to finance with us or any of that other kind of stuff. My pricing I put on that webpage is bona fide rebates that you qualify, that everybody qualifies for, but you might have more. Just like yesterday, I did a deal on a truck, and the rebate on the truck was $4,000 on an XLT. Time I got done, he had $6,500 because he had a private offer out there. Some dealers will put out their private offers out there and put that out there as you get that. Guess what? You walk in the store and guess what? Oh no, you don't qualify for that.
You don't get it till you get it.
Yeah. So there's so many things to look at when you look at a dealership's pricing and all that kind of stuff. And if you think the discounts at $10,000 on a Super Duty is correct, by far none. Run from that store because they're lying to you, they're cheating you, they're gonna trick you when you try to get in there, and everything else too. So what you see on our webpage is a bona fide 100%. If I've got a discount that says dealer discounted for say $1,500 or $2,000 or $3,000, whatever it is, I promise you that's the price you're going to pay when you walk in here. That's the minimum amount of rebates you're going to be able to qualify for. But we always need to check, and we do. We always check with to see what you might have out there for private offers or other rebates or other incentives that might be good for you to help you.
Well, and so talk about the private offer side of that. Like what is that? How does one?
Ford goes out there every month and they put out what we call ICI offers, which is an offer that they give just to you as an individual. They go out and look at your criteria, how many Fords you bought and how much you serviced with us, all that kind of stuff and everything. And they decide who's going to get those private offers. It's not available to everybody out there. And I don't advertise those on the website like some dealers do to try to entice you to think you got that rebate, and you don't have that rebate. But those offers are only applicable to that specific customer or that specific household. For example, if it comes in the husband's name and the wife's in trying to buy it, but they're married and it's the same address, guess what? That private offer does work.
So what about as a dealer, is it possible for somebody to not even check that or know it's there?
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if the dealer doesn't have an incentive to go do that for their customer, you know,
I want to I want to make sure I get all the money I can for you from Ford.
Yeah.
And we do that every time. It's like, hey, what can I buy this truck for? Hey, you know what? Give me your zip code. Give me your deal. And I was dealing with a gentleman out of Oklahoma, was getting kind of jacked around down in Oklahoma over an F-150. And kind of find out, guess what? He had a $2,500 offer. They didn't know anything about
sitting out there. Yep.
Got a caller?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to the phones. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go to the phones and talk to Delbert. Delbert, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, buddy.
Hope all is going well this afternoon when you go talk to somebody. So, anyway, my question, my daughter was just trying to call me.
Oh, gotcha.
She went to voicemail.
Click. Ignore.
The warranty, not necessarily the warranty, the inspection you guys give. I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot because you didn't mention it. Do you add to the price of that vehicle for that inspection, or is it just if you have to add parts, things like that, add a lot of money to it to get it up to par? Do you add to that what you would think would be the price of that car? And twofold would be what type of warranty does come with that car? You know, go a little more into detail.
Well, of course, whatever we have to do to fix on that car does get added to the cost of the car. Doesn't necessarily reflect my.
I just know you guys are upfront. I just want to put that out there that they will tell you that if you call them. But I'm just thinking if I share this, then people will have that information already when they come see it.
Yeah. And, you know, where there is whatever we spend on that car to get it there does add to the cost of the car, but that doesn't reflect my price.
The sales price on it
does not. You know, we have a whole process we go through when we actually take your car in on trade, and the tool we use to help bid your car, fit the right value, and what we think we're going to spend it on recon. And I mean, it's a daily conversation we have in the sales tower and also in service about what we're spending, what we're doing, what it takes to fix things, and the dollar amounts of these cars from that part. But it does not affect the price of the car, what we spend on the car, because I price my cars off of market-based pricing, based on what everybody else is priced out there, what they're doing. from that part. So we're very competitive on price on top of that too. But that just because I have to spend a little more on a car doesn't make me go raise the price of that car up to offset that. I do not do that.
Well, and I think too.
And I knew that. That's why I wanted to get that out there for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, years ago, my daughter bought a Ford Escape 2011, I think she said it was.
Yep.
From you guys, and it was a certified vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember, this was many years ago, so I don't know how much you changed how you do things from, let's say, 10 years ago, roughly. But
a lot. I will tell you that already. 10 years ago, a lot. Yeah.
So great dealership, guys. I know you didn't see my comment on there, but as far as dealerships are concerned, I consider you one of the great ones. And you always get my business, even though I live in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Deborah, there's a lot of great stores out there, and we try to strive to be one of the best ones on top of that and being up front and taking care of people. But there's just like the independent world, there's some bad ones out there too, everywhere else too. But I appreciate the comment because we do try hard. We've got a great team of managers and a great team of employees here that want to take care of our customers. And I will tell you, if we get a bad apple, I have a favorite saying: take a right-hand turn out of the front of the store, don't make a left-hand turn at the 119th light and come back in here again. That's what I tell my employees, because if you're not here to take care of the customer and you're not here for what's best for our customers, see you. Well, have a nice day.
It's a partnership, right?
And you see that in the reflection of your employees too.
Yep.
So just so people know, they can go in there and rest assured that if you're going to buy a car, whether it's used or new, the sales staff is awesome. They're going to take care of you. They're not going to try and sell you something you don't need.
Yep.
And things like that. So,
yeah, that's kind of how we've been operating what we do. I agree with that too, Deborah. And the next thing is, if we make mistakes, we're human, we're going to make mistakes. And what we do is we try to solve that mistake as quickly as we can. Don't try to sweep it under the rug. But I will tell you, there's situations when we don't make a mistake and a customer thinks we did, and we have to stand our ground a little bit.
Yeah.
I had one yesterday where a customer was trying to accuse us of something we didn't do. And I'm not going to take blame when we didn't do it. I'm gonna stand my ground on you. But if we do make a mistake, hey, it's human. If we're not trying hard, we're not making mistakes. So when we do make a mistake, we fix it. We take care of it quickly.
Okay, so back to the toy drive.
Yeah.
If you give me permission to be up there with you, because I know I don't work for that dealership, I'll go up there with you and I'll sit up there. I got plenty of clothes.
Well, you're jinxing me now.
I'm putting you on the spot is what I'm doing.
No, you say you got plenty of clothes. That means I got to get mine out because it's going to be cold.
Yeah, he was hoping he was up there in shorts and a flip flop.
It's either too hot for me or too cold for me. I'm just
there's been a time when I had gloves on, I had to take them off. Okay, so.
Yeah, he's hoping shorts and a flip flops is what he's hoping.
Maybe not flip flops, but at least shorts.
You wear gloves? I never wear gloves.
But it is a good cause. It's a great thing for everybody. Get ready for the toy drive, December the 7th. It's going to be fun and exciting, and it's a great thing for these kids that over at the Salvation Army. It's fun to take those toys over to them when they're there to see those kids and stuff too. So get ready for that. I think it's our 12th, 13th, 14th year. I have to figure out exactly what year I went up on the roof the first time.
So it has been a long time, and I'm not so sure that you got the years right for your 10-car giveaway. I think it's been closer to 15.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. Do you think I can get away this year instead of doing so before we've done the fire truck, which that's a gone deal. Anyway, what do you think about top fuel dragster rides for the kids this year?
Don't think that's going to happen. I haven't seen a two-seater of those yet.
Well, I don't know.
They probably wouldn't like that, would they?
Yeah. Well, it's
I'm
for the kids.
About that myself. I might be a kid for a day. Or were you actually talking about the adult kids?
Well, that's
it. Yeah, I've had a lot of ideas about going up on the roof and what should happen up there too. So,
do tell.
We can definitely. If you have any questions, I'll definitely be there. I'll be there.
I've had customers offer me adult beverages to go up there, stay warm, and things like that.
So you got like a nightclub going on up there, is what you're.
They can offer it to us. We just can't drink it up there.
Nightclub. Yeah. So, but it is fun to go up there. It's a fun thing to do for these kids. It's a fun time, and it's fun to be up there so you can see everybody coming in.
Yeah. Everybody bringing in toys
and stuff too. So, it's going to be a fun time. December the 7th. It'll be here before we know it. We've got to get through Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and then here comes the toy drive. So we've got a lot of exciting things coming out here at the Bighorn, that's for sure.
All right, guys. If you're serious and you want me to come up there, you let me know. You got my info.
I'm scared to death now. It's going to be freezing cold, snowing, and blowing in our face, Delbert.
Perfect.
Well, I say I got plenty of clothes. I was in the Arctic, so
Oh, careful, man! You're really jinxing me now.
Michigan. That was just Michigan, not the Arctic.
The Arctic, Michigan.
Sorry.
Click the button, Josh. Delbert, thanks for calling, buddy. Have a great Saturday, bud.
Bye. You guys as well. Bye-bye.
All right, just a few minutes left. If anybody wants to call in and get the great price package, about over $130, and we'll take your call and have some fun with that too. So, anyway, yes, the toy drive's coming up. That's going to be fun, exciting. December the 7th. We got Black Friday, and again, the 10 cars we're not doing. We got a lot of exciting other things we're going to do this year for Black Friday to make it more fun. I really truly believe the 10 cars from $99 to $999 has run its course. Done enough with that. We've done that for several years, and it's just many years. I shouldn't say several. And we just got some more things, and we spent hours yesterday discussing what we're going to do. So you stay tuned, everybody, because you're not going to want to miss the excitement that's going to be out here on Black Friday here at Mel Hambelton Ford. So, okay, so I think we've kind of went through everything. Josh, anything else exciting on your end or anything?
Just when we were sitting there kind of recapping as far as the differences, for sure, there's a difference, I guess, is where I'm headed with that. I think the misconception of dealers are more expensive is something that is definitely, not real, for sure. And especially when you equate, an individual's time into something or investment into something. I mean, you can, from our side of it, you can buy a car without even stepping foot in the dealership, right?
Oh, yes, you can.
I mean, and the lengths that we go to ensure that we take care of the customer on their terms, I think is huge.
Yeah, I still go back, saving time and making your time worth everything else too. I still remember back in my dad's shop, and man, it was a cold Saturday. And I'm under my coveralls. I think my dad keep the temperature at 34 degrees in there. Just
you wanted more heat. You worked faster. Is that the?
But anyway, this guy came in and had a heater hose not sealing on his car. And he wanted to fix it himself, so he's out there jacking around. I mean, he's out there for
this 30, is outside. This is like right outside the shop. So he bought the part.
No. He came in because he didn't know what he had, and we showed him what was leaking finally. So he's out there messing with that clamp. I mean, messing for 30 minutes trying to refix it, get it done right because it was stripped out and get it to where it'd go and work. And my dad looked at him and says, "You know what? Isn't your time worth something?" He goes, "What do you mean?" And back then, I remember with that clamp was probably like a nickel or something.
Yeah.
Isn't your time worth more than that? The guy looked at him and said, "Never thought of that. Give me a new clamp, Red." Put it on and off he went, So there's a lot of things that, over time is the same scenarios going on back and forth from that part too. So
but he's trying to save a nickel on a clamp and
spent 30 minutes out there jacking with it, and still didn't have it fixed. It still wasn't fixed from that part. So again, it's back to the same thing as you want to get taken care of, you want it done right, you want a good quality warranty, you want someone to stand behind the work we do. And our warranty in our shops 2 years, right?
Yep.
2 years, 24,000. Match that up aftermarket. I'll challenge you from that part too. So, hey, everybody, it's been fun. It's been exciting. Get ready for some exciting times on Black Friday. Get ready for the toy drive. All kinds of good fun and stuff too. So, everybody, hey, it's been fun this Saturday. Keep the comments coming. Keep the lives coming. Hey, stay tuned next Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Update with Salt City Racing over at the fairgrounds. We should have some exciting news coming up on that. So, everybody, stay tuned for that. Have everything else too. So, stay tuned. I don't know. I might have to do it Tuesday night. We'll see how things go too. So stay tuned for the Salt City Racing update coming to you live right here on the same channels and stuff too. So everybody, Josh, have a great Saturday. Everybody have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody go have some fun. Stay dry, and we'll talk to you next Saturday, 9 o'clock.